Good morning, students. Welcome to this online teaching platform of Divine Public School, Mohanapur, Gorakhpur. Dear student, once again I am back. Today I am going to start a new chapter which is very important as per the board concern, and the name of the chapter is Indigo. Written by Louis Fisher from your textbook Flamingo, subject English of class 12. Now dear student, this is the part 1 of this chapter Indigo. Now first of all, let me tell you what is indigo. What does the indigo stands for, or what is the meaning of the indigo? Indigo is a blue dye obtained from plant, a dye for cotton yarn, which is mainly for the production of denim cloth for blue jeans. Small amounts are used for dyeing wool and silk. Is it clear, students? Now moving forward. About the author Louis Fisher. Dear students, before explaining the text of this chapter, let me give you a brief description of Louis Fisher, who has written this chapter, The Indigo. Louis Fisher was born in Philadelphia in the year 1896 and he died in 1970. He served as a volunteer in the British Army between 1918 and 1920. Fisher made a career as journalist and wrote for the New York Times, the Saturday Review, and for European and Asian publications. He was also a member of the faculty at Princeton University, which is in America. Now, coming to the specific objectives of the lesson. After studying this chapter, the student will be able to understand the theme of the lesson, which is patience, truthfulness, and determination, which can help one overcome all odds and adversities. The second specific objective is the student will be able to understand the turning point of Gandhiji's life. And the third one is they will be sensitized towards the plight of sharecroppers. That means after studying this chapter, they will come to know about the struggle of Mahatma Gandhiji for freedom and for the sharecroppers of Champaran district. Now they will also be sensitized towards the suffering and problems of the sharecroppers. Sharecroppers are the peasants who gave part of their crop as rent. Is it clear, students? The meaning of sharecroppers is peasants who gave part of their crop as rent. Remember it. So there are three specific objectives of the lesson. The students will be able to understand the theme of the lesson: patience, truthfulness, and determination, which can help one overcome all odds and adversities. The students will be able to understand the turning point of Gandhiji's life. And the last one, they will be sensitized towards the plight of sharecroppers. Now coming to the introduction of the lesson, the extract highlights the injustice of the landlord system in Bihar. The Champaran peasants who were sharecroppers were exploited by the rich and influential English landlords, who insisted on cultivation of indigo on 15% land and made them surrender the entire indigo harvest as rent. After Germany developed synthetic indigo, they obtained agreements from the sharecroppers to pay them compensation for being released from the 15% arrangement. Gandhi took up the cause of the poor peasants. He secured justice for them through convincing arguments and negotiations. So, dear students, this is an excerpt from his book. That means the book of Louis Fisher, The Life of Mahatma Gandhi. The book has been reviewed as one of the best books ever written on Gandhi by Times Educational Supplement. Now, dear students, the story that Indigo, the story is based on the interview taken by Louis Fisher of Mahatma Gandhi. That means this is the story which is based on the interview taken by Louis Fisher of Mahatma Gandhi. In order to write on him, Louis Fisher visited him in 1942 at his ashram, Sevagram, which is in Gujarat, where he was told about the Indigo movement started by Gandhiji. The story revolves around the struggle of Gandhi and other prominent leaders in order to safeguard sharecroppers from the atrocities of landlords. Is it clear, students? Now, coming to the explanation, first of all, I will read the paragraph for you all. In December 1916, Gandhi went to Lucknow to attend the annual convention of the Indian National Congress. There were 2,301 delegates and many visitors. A peasant from Champaran, Rajkumar Shukla, asked Gandhi to visit his district. Shukla followed Gandhi wherever he went. In 1917, Gandhi and Shukla boarded a train for Patna. Shukla led Gandhi to the house of a lawyer named Rajendra Prasad. They could not see him as he was out of town. Now look at the difficult words in this paragraph, students, as I have highlighted in the red color. Let's have a look at the meaning of the difficult words. The first one is annual convention. Its meaning is a formal assembly where the people get together to discuss on important issues. So it's a formal assembly. Now peasant here means an agriculture laborer of low social status. The last difficult word here is boarded, which means get on it. That means if you are getting into the train, get on it in train. That is boarded. You board the train at the platform. Is it clear? Now listen very carefully the explanation from my side. As I am going to explain the chapter for you all, I want you to be very attentive and listen the explanation very carefully so that you can understand the chapter. In December 1916, Gandhi went to Lucknow to attend the annual convention of the Indian National Congress. There were 2,301 delegates and many visitors. Now, as I just now said, that this is an excerpt of an interview, or you can say a book written by Louis Fisher. So the story is based on the interview taken by Louis Fisher of Mahatma Gandhi. So when the narrator here, Louis Fisher, when he first visited Gandhi in 1942 in Sevagram in central India, he said, that means during the interview, Gandhiji said, I will tell you how it happened that I decided to urge the departure of the British. It was in 1917. So here the author, who is also the narrator of this chapter, explains about his first interaction, that means the meeting with Mahatma Gandhi. He says that he first met Gandhi in 1942 at his ashram, which was in Sevagram. It was located in central India. Gandhi said that he would tell him about his struggle against the British, which took place in the year 1917. So Gandhiji says that in month of December in the year 1916, now here's the start of the story of this chapter. Now Gandhiji says that in the month of December in the year 1916, he went to attend the annual convention of the Indian National Congress at Lucknow. There were about 2,301 representatives and visitors. That means Gandhiji in the interview says that it was the year 1916 and the month was December when he went to attend the annual convention, that means annual meeting, or you can say annual assembly of the Indian National Congress at Lucknow. There were about 2,301 representatives and visitors. A peasant from Champaran, Rajkumar Shukla, asked Gandhi to visit his district. Shukla followed Gandhi wherever he went. In 1917, Gandhi and Shukla boarded a train for Patna. Now here Gandhi recalled that a small farmer named Rajkumar Shukla came to him who was poor and thin. He requested Gandhi to visit Champaran. Now, where is Champaran, students? Champaran is a place in the foothills of the Himalayas mountain range near the kingdom of Nepal. So, Rajkumar Shukla was a peasant. He was a sharecropper who went to Lucknow to attend, but here he wants to meet Gandhiji. So he went to Lucknow in that annual convention of Indian National Congress. Now the question arises, why he went to Lucknow? What was his purpose? So Gandhiji recalled a small farmer named Rajkumar Shukla came to him who was poor and thin. He requested Gandhi to visit Champaran. So Champaran, a place in the foothills of the Himalaya mountain range near the kingdom of Nepal. So this person, this poor peasant, Rajkumar Shukla, informed Gandhiji that he was a sharecropper. Now, dear student, what is sharecropper? Sharecropper means a peasants who gave part of their crop as rent. So he informed Gandhi that he was a sharecropper. A sharecropper is a farmer who gives a part of the crop as rent to the owner of that piece of land that he cultivates. Rajkumar Shukla told Gandhiji that because of an old agreement, many of the peasants in Champaran were sharecroppers. He had come to meet him on someone's suggestion as he was determined to find a solution for the sharecroppers who were facing hardships due to this agreement. He actually sought Gandhiji's help. For this reason, he went to Lucknow to meet Gandhiji in that annual convention. Now, after hearing this problem, the problem that the sharecroppers were facing, after hearing his problem, Gandhiji told him that he had to visit Kanpur and some other parts of India due to prior appointments. Shukla went with him everywhere. That means wherever Gandhiji went, he followed Gandhiji. After this, Gandhiji returned to his ashram near Ahmedabad, which is in Gujarat. Shukla was also there with him for several weeks, begging him to fix a date to visit Champaran. As he wants Gandhiji to visit Champaran, that means he wants to take Gandhiji along with him to Champaran district so that there he can inform about the suffering and hardships of the sharecroppers. So, wherever Gandhiji went, he followed Gandhiji. As Gandhiji was impressed with the determination of the peasant, that means determination of the Rajkumar Shukla, he said that he would be visiting Kolkata after a few months and that Shukla should meet him there on the day that had been fixed. Shukla was eagerly waiting for Gandhi. When Gandhi got free, they both took a train to Patna. Shukla led Gandhi to the house of a lawyer named Rajendra Prasad. They could not see him as he was out of town. Now, after reaching to Patna, Rajkumar Shukla led Gandhiji, that means he takes Gandhiji to the house of Rajendra Prasad, who later became the president of Free India. When they reached there, he was not at home. That means Rajendra Prasad was out of town. But the servant allowed both of them to stay at the ground. That means when they reached to the house of Rajendra Prasad, at that time Rajendra Prasad was not in the home, he was out of town. The servant who was knowing this, Rajkumar Shukla, that he is a peasant, poor peasant or a sharecropper, so he asked both of them, that means Gandhi and Rajkumar Shukla, to stay at ground because the servants knew Shukla. They all knew him because Shukla used to assist their master in helping indigo sharecroppers. They did not allow Gandhi to draw water from their well as they took him to be an untouchable and didn't want to pollute the entire water source. That means the servants considered Gandhiji as a untouchable person and they warned him not to draw water from the well as it can pollute the water source. So here Gandhiji was also treated as untouchable. At that time, the sharecroppers, the poor peasants, were also considered as untouchables. Is it clear, students? Now, moving forward. Gandhiji decided to go first to Muzaffarpur to obtain complete information about the conditions in Champaran. He reached Muzaffarpur by train at midnight on 15th April 1917. Professor J.B. Kriplani received him at the station. Gandhiji stayed there for 2 days. The news of Gandhi's arrival and the nature of his mission spread quickly from Muzaffarpur and to Champaran. Sharecroppers from Champaran began arriving there. Muzaffarpur lawyers briefed Gandhi about the court cases. He chided the lawyers for collecting big fees from the sharecroppers. He thought that law courts were useless for the crushed and fear-stricken peasants. The real relief for them was to free from fear. Now look at the difficult words here in this paragraph, students. Let's have a look. For the meaning, first one is sharecroppers. Means peasants who gave part of their crop as rent. The second one is briefed, which means instruct or inform thoroughly. Then comes chided, which means scolded. Then comes crushed, which means crumpled. Then the last one is fear stricken, which means full of fear. Now coming to the explanation part, students, see the first line. Gandhi decided to go first to Muzaffarpur to obtain complete information about the conditions in Champaran. He reached Muzaffarpur by train at midnight on 15th April 1917. Professor J.B. Kriplani received him at the station. Gandhiji stayed there for 2 days. Now, as Shukla was not able to provide Gandhiji with adequate information about the hardships of the sharecroppers, therefore Gandhiji decided to go to Muzaffarpur, which was on the way of Champaran, to obtain the complete information. He sent a telegram to Professor J.B. Kriplani, who was a teacher at Arts College in Muzaffarpur. Gandhi had seen him at Tagore's Shantiniketan school. Gandhi took a train to Muzaffarpur that arrived at midnight on 15th April 1917. That means on 15th April 1917 at midnight, Gandhiji reached where? Muzaffarpur. So Kriplani, that means the Professor J.B. Kriplani, was already waiting there with his students. That means there was a huge crowd of students to welcome Gandhiji. Gandhiji stayed there for 2 days at Professor Malkani's home, who was a teacher in government school. Is it clear, students? Now moving forward. The news of Gandhiji's arrival and the nature of his mission spread quickly from Muzaffarpur and to Champaran. Sharecroppers from Champaran began arriving there. Now, the news of Gandhi's arrival and the purpose of his mission spread in Muzaffarpur and Champaran very fast. And sharecropper who came to know that one of the Mahatma, actually these sharecroppers or the people, poor people, were not knowing that he is Mahatma Gandhi. They thought that one of the Mahatma has come to help them out. For this reason, they started moving on their foot to meet Gandhiji. Very fast, sharecroppers started to visit Gandhiji. Muzaffarpur lawyers briefed Gandhi about the court cases. He chided the lawyers for collecting big fees from the sharecroppers. He thought that law courts were useless for the crushed and fear stricken peasants. The real relief for them was to be free from fear. Now, when Gandhiji reached Muzaffarpur, the Muzaffarpur lawyers informed Gandhi about the whole situation as they represented various peasants in the court. Is it clear, students? Now, many of the lawyers, they represent the case of the poor peasants. So they briefed each and everything related to the hardships of the sharecroppers and the system of sharecropping. They explained to him about their cases and the fee that they charged them. That means the lawyers informed Gandhiji that for fighting the case against the Britishers, they charge fees, high fees from the sharecroppers. After hearing this, Gandhiji scolded, that means chided. Gandhiji scolded the lawyers for charging such high fee from the poor sharecroppers. Because already the peasants were poor, and for fighting the case against the Britishers, the peasants were paying high fees for the case. For this reason, Gandhiji chided the lawyers or scolded the lawyers for charging such high fee from the poor sharecroppers. Gandhiji decided that it was useless to go to the courts as the judiciary was not doing anything good for the peasants. For this reason, he says, or you can say he decided that it was useless to go to the courts as judiciary was not doing anything good for the peasants. He said that as long as the peasants were suppressed and full of fear, it was useless to visit the courts. He wanted to set them free from fear. Then Gandhi arrived in Champaran. He began by trying to get the facts from the secretary of the British Landlords Association. He refused to give information to an outsider. Gandhi said that he was not an outsider. Gandhi next called on the British official commissioner of the Tirhut division. The commissioner started bullying Gandhi and advised him to leave the Tirhut. Instead of leaving the area, Gandhi went to Motihari. The capital of Champaran. Several lawyers accompanied him. A large crowd of people greeted Gandhi at the railway station. It was the beginning of the liberation from fear of the British. Now see the hard words here, students. The first one is accompanied, which means to go somewhere with as a companion. Then liberation, which means freedom. Now you can see one more word here, students. Bullying Gandhi. Bullying means to oppose or to tease. So bullying means to oppose or to tease. Accompanied means to go somewhere with as a companion. And liberation means freedom. Is it clear, students? Now let's see the explanation. Then Gandhi arrived in Champaran. When Gandhi arrived at Champaran, he decided to gather the facts. So he began by trying to get the facts from the secretary of the British landlord. As Gandhiji decided to gather facts, for this he visited the secretary of the British Landlords Association. The secretary did not answer him. Do you know, students, why? Because he could not give any information to an outsider. He thought that Gandhiji is not from Champaran. He belongs to Gujarat. And for him, Gandhiji was an outsider. So he says that he could not give any information to an outsider. At this point, Gandhiji told that I am not an outsider, I am an Indian. So, as the secretary of the British Landlord Association refused to give any information to Gandhiji, considering him as an outsider, after this, he went to the commissioner of the Tirhut division. Now, Gandhiji went to commissioner of the Tirhut division. Champaran district was under Tirhut division at that time. The commissioner not only threatened Gandhi but also suggested him to leave Tirhut immediately. That means commissioner also refused to give any information to Gandhiji regarding the system of sharecropping. And he threatened Gandhiji and suggested him to leave Tirhut division immediately. Now, though Gandhiji was threatened by the commissioner, he didn't leave the place. That means instead of leaving the area, Gandhi went to Motihari, the capital of Champaran at that time. Several lawyers accompanied him. A large crowd of people greeted Gandhi at the railway station. It was the beginning of the liberation from fear of the British. Now, though Gandhiji was threatened by the commissioner, he didn't leave the place. He then went to Motihari, which was at that time the capital of Champaran. He was joined by several lawyers. When they reached the station, they were welcomed by a large number of people. He then went to a house which was later converted into his headquarters. He started his inquiry into the matter. From there, he started inquiring about the matter, or you can say the system of sharecropping. Is it clear, students? Now, when Gandhiji saw that there was a huge crowd to greet him, he thought in his mind that now it was the beginning of the freedom from the fear of British, because slowly and slowly the people are coming together to fight against the Britishers, or you can say fight against the system of sharecropping. A peasant had been maltreated in a nearby village. The next morning, Gandhi started out on the back of an elephant. Soon he was stopped by the police superintendent's messenger and ordered to return to town in his carriage. Gandhi complied. The messenger drove Gandhi home. Then he served him with an official notice to quit Champaran at once. Gandhi signed the receipt for the notice and wrote on it that he would disobey the order. Gandhi received a summons to appear in the court the next day. At night, Gandhi telegraphed Rajendra Prasad, sent instructions to the ashram, and wired a full report to the viceroy. Now see the difficult words, students, here. The first one is maltreated, which means treat cruelly or with violence. The second one is carriage, which means transport to carry passengers. Complied means obeyed the order here. Listen very carefully. Complied means obeyed the order. Receipt means the action of receiving something. Summons means authoritative call to appear in court. Then comes the wired. Wired means to transfer or receive information. And viceroy, a ruler exercising authority in a colony on behalf of a sovereign. Clear? And the ashram, the Seva Ashram of Mahatma Gandhi in Gujarat. Now see the first line. Listen very carefully the explanation. A peasant had been maltreated in a nearby village. The next morning, Gandhi started out on the back of an elephant. Now, Gandhi decided to visit a nearby village. When he came to know about an incident of ill treatment with a peasant, he was on his way. That means Gandhiji was proceeding towards that village where the peasant was maltreated or treated with violence, you can say here. So he was on his way on an elephant when the superintendent's messenger, that means supervisor, stopped him and ordered him to return back to the town. Gandhi followed him and the messenger took him back to his home. That means Gandhiji here obeyed that message conveyed by the superintendent messenger to return back. So Gandhiji stopped and returned back to the town. Gandhiji followed him in his carriage. That messenger dropped Gandhiji back to his home. Now, in the home, he was then served a notice which ordered him to quit his movement and return back. Gandhiji received the notice and signed a receipt on which Gandhiji wrote that he would not obey the order. That means Gandhiji denied to obey the order which was written on the notice to quit his movement. Clear, students? Now Gandhiji received a summons to appear in the court next day. At night, Gandhiji telegraphed Rajendra Prasad, sent instructions to the ashram, and wired a full report to the Viceroy. Now, as a result, as Gandhiji has denied to obey the order, so as a result, Gandhiji got summons to appear in the court next day. Gandhiji wasn't able to sleep the whole night. He telegraphed Rajendra Prasad, who became the president of Free India. But before this, Rajendra Prasad was an eminent, a famous lawyer. So he telegraphed Rajendra Prasad and asked him to come to Bihar and get some powerful people along. That means Gandhiji want Rajendra Prasad along with him, that he should come along with his influential friends. So that means Gandhiji sent telegram to Rajendra Prasad and asked him to come to Bihar and set some powerful people along with him. He sent some guidelines to the ashram also, and also telegraphed the whole matter to the Viceroy. Viceroy, a ruler exercising authority in a colony on behalf of the sovereign. Clear, students? Okay. Now see the slide. Answer the following question. First question: who was Rajkumar Shukla? Why did he come to Lucknow? Question number 2: why Rajkumar Shukla described as resolute? Question number 3: where is Champaran district situated? What did the peasants grow there? How did they use their harvest? Why did Gandhi decided to go first to Muzaffarpur before going to Champaran? Question number 5: where did Gandhiji want to go? What happened to him on the way? Question number 6: in consequences, Gandhiji received a summons to appear in the court next day. Which events of the previous day led to this statement of affairs? Question number 7: why did Gandhiji chided the lawyers? Question 8: why did Gandhiji feel that taking the Champaran case to the court was useless? And question number 9: how we can say that Rajkumar Shukla was a resolute person? Is it clear, student? Now there are 9 questions. You have to answer the following questions in your classwork copy. Now as this was the video number 1, so once again I will be back with my video, which will be the continuation of this chapter, The Indigo, written by Louis Fisher, and that video will be video number, or you can say part number 2, to be continued next video. Thanks for watching and listening, students. Thank you.